body can heal itself. It is always working toward a state of balance. I'm Jim Masters, CUTV News.
The human body can heal itself. It is always working toward a state of balance. Neuroscience has recognized that 95% of what we do in life is controlled by our subconscious programs from childhood. Our brains are programmed to keep us safe. This subconscious programming can create conflict with the conscious adult mind, which creates blocks in the information pathways of the body and prevents natural healing. However, once the belief is identified, the conflict can be reset to the positive so that your conscious and subconscious are in harmony with each other and the body can begin its natural healing process. Sally Tennant is the founder of Healing Through Your Mindset, a holistic energy practice dedicated to identifying and resetting faulty subconscious beliefs that create our conflicts so we can live happier, healthier, more abundant lives.
Sally Tennant joins me in the CUTV News studios to talk about this and much more. Sally, welcome to our show. It's great to have you with us on CUTV News.
It's great to be here.
Is there a typical client, or are they coming again?
What I find is typically my clients come in when they have developed a symptom that the doctors can't do anything about.
So it's a physical, it could be a migraine or just
right.
something that...
It could be anything. Sometimes what's happening in people's bodies these days, they're developing symptoms which are just wild.
What she does works in conjunction with conventional medical practice, okay? But in the medical world, they're almost always treating symptoms. They don't really treat the cause. Sally seeks the cause, roots it out, and helps you to get rid of it.
What I do is I identify the problem through the tissue conflicts of the body, the tissues actually. Every tissue of the body has a conflict attached to it, or a belief, I should say.
Yeah.
And so from there, what I do is identify, usually underneath that belief, could be 8, 9, 10 others that we can deal with in one sitting, and we just reprogram the information. And what it basically does is take the belief from childhood, which isn't serving the person anymore in their adult life, and it brings it forward into their adult life. And the wording kind of lets you know that. It's bringing it into their adult life in a way that they need at that time. Right now, we are going through a huge transition. The planet right now is going through a transition that it has never experienced before. And it's what it is all of the cycles of the planet, whether it be climate, whether it be population, whether it be civilization, whatever it is, all of these cycles right now are coming together at one time. This has never happened before. One cycle happens, another cycle happens, and they're calling it, and this is science, scientists right now, they're calling it the Great Divide. Now, that totally makes sense if you look at what's going on in the world, what's going on in politics.
Doesn't it seem like a world of extremes now?
Yes.
There's no more middle ground.
Exactly. I believe that if you are here during this time, you, everybody that you know, and all the people on the planet, including the children, if you are here during this time, you are here for a reason. Now, you asked me, what do you think that reason is? I'll tell you what I think it is. It is a major time and an opportunity for great learning and growth. You're here to learn and to grow now.
By working with them, you've been able to turn it around for them.
Good things happen between families when they're having problems, and in working with them, those problems work out. But a lot of physical issues have been helped through this.
Because it's a result, or it's tied to unfinished emotional
and stress.
Trauma, stress.
I find Sally very easy to talk to, and before I came to her, I had never heard of any of the techniques she uses, QNRT or mindset, and I find that they work, and I believe in believe in them now, and I use the practices daily in my life. For anyone thinking about using mindset or QNRT, I would highly recommend it. It's worked for me. It's worked for my wife. I've lost a lot of weight. I don't take any medicine. If I have a headache, I don't take Advil. I just work through it myself.
The father of stress, the guy that developed all of the 3 syndromes and 3 phases of it and researched it for years and years and years. His name is Hans Selye, and he was a medical doctor. And what he identified was something called adaptation energy. That's what he called it. He didn't know what else to call it. And this has to do with stress, and he said that all of us are born with, that's what he found, a certain amount of this adaptation energy. And basically, when you use it up, it will give you the ability basically to pass into spirit.
Really?
Yeah. We only have a certain amount of it,
right.
So be conservative. Budget accordingly. It's really important to de-stress. If you want to live a healthier life, a happier life, a more productive and abundant life, you really need to do something about your stressors.
Sometimes you'll have people who will say, I seem to always attract negative people around me, or I always seem to be involved in or attract situations that are, you know, detrimental to my own health and success. And we're attracting that as much as we are attracting success and riches and good people.
Right. The law of attraction is very real, and it is a law. But what I have found is that we attract that which our subconscious mind believes all the time, all the time. But what happens is whatever they're attracting goes away almost immediately, within 3 days, because the energy shifts immediately. Now, it may take longer to work through the entire system because the body's a little bit more dense, and it just needs to work through the system because it does change the biology as well. But the energy shift is immediate. And that's why I say to my clients who have a significant other and they say, well, he or she will not come to see you. And I say, that doesn't matter, because the minute your energy shifts, they're going to stop reinforcing this, and their behavior will change. And it does. It's amazing. It's really amazing how it works. You really need to do something about your stressors. The knee-jerk reaction, I like to call it, from a subconscious program. It's a negative knee-jerk, a negative emotional reaction to something like that. It's just, boom, you don't think about it. You just get angry, you get frustrated, you get upset, and you yell at your kids. And later on you say, I should have handled it differently.
Usually there's underlying issues and things that are unresolved that have been happening and building, and just at that moment somebody cuts you off and you release it all. It isn't necessarily just the person that cut you off, but it's you've got other things that have been going on for a while that led up to that one thing that one person did. And
But that is, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Because my whole thing is,
I wonder why they do
what happened? It was just an event. Take away your perception of what just happened when you're on the road, or what your kids are doing, or if you get an email from the boss, or whatever it might be.
Coworker conversations.
Take away your perception, and all it is an event, period. That's all it is. So this is what it's all about. You change your perception by changing your subconscious programming, because that knee-jerk reaction is your subconscious totally taking over. Totally.
This too shall pass, basically.
Yes. I think it's just as one person resonates with another, they just know, probably by talking to me, that I have complete confidence in the work that I do.
Right.
And I believe that the trust is something that is developed, but I think it's developed very quickly.
It was never an uncomfortable circumstances at any time. She's got a very easygoing way about her, and the best part is you learn after a while in talking with her, she's not judging you. She's only here to help you understand you know, your circumstances and how, you know, through her, you can change them and you can end up being a much happier, better person than you've ever been.
You're able to do this over Skype, phone, a variety of different things, if,
Yeah.
no matter where they happen to be in the United States, Canada, or beyond, right?
Right. Yeah, the work that I do is something that I can do over the phone. So it works regardless. You
Absolutely.
don't have to be sitting there with me.
Right. Does
There
it concern you? Do you have a concern that if we don't take time to breathe and to reset and to take, you know, a couple of moments, things will not only get worse, but things could be really scary out there if
The best
people
way,
don't come to see
right.
somebody like you and really take that
Right.
moment?
The best way for people to deal with this time is to start becoming more conscious. They need to look at their life and they need to start paying attention to it. And as they do that, it will help their families, it will help people around them. And that's the best way for each individual on this planet to be able to deal with the transition. And I really believe that's an important message for people because it's nuts out there. The politics, the information coming over, the news, I listen and I say, this is nuts.
Each day is crazier than the day before.
Right.
So then, how does Sally Tennant reset?
What I tell my clients is there is nothing that I will do for you or with you that I haven't done on myself. So I learned how to work on myself a long time ago. It's much easier to let somebody else do it, but I do work on myself, and I do it regularly because I'm human, like everybody else.
So you learn to, right.
Right, and so for me, and I think it's so important because I know for myself the way in which I react to what's going on in the world. I look at it as an event and understand what's going on and say, okay, it doesn't stress me out right now because it's not something I can do anything about, and usually it's already happened.
And it's already
What's the difference? So all you can do is move forward and just keep helping more and more people.
It's a joy to talk with you. We always learn so much, and we hope you'll be back with us again soon, Sally.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
A real pleasure. And we thank you for joining us as well. Again, to learn more about our special guest, Sally Tennant, please go to her website. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jim Masters, CU TV News.